Okay, section 1.1, expressions and formulas. All right, first thing we need to know for this lesson is the order of operations. This book has this wonderful lineup for you, but most of us commonly know it as, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You've had it before, so I'm not going to spend tons of time on it. But the P stands for parentheses. So you do anything with parentheses first, anything inside that you can possibly do. Excuse stands for exponents, so anything with an exponent you do next. And remember, the M and the D, the M is for multiplication and the D is for division. However, it always goes left to right. That's a big deal. Some kids think it's multiplication first and then division. It's left to right. Whichever you start at the left side of the problem, you work your way across. And if you see division first, then you do division. If you see multiplication first, you do that. And then, of course, Aunt Sally is addition and subtraction. Okay? And once again, you go left to right across your problem. Whichever one you see first is what you do. It's not necessarily addition first and then subtraction. It's in order, left to right. Let's try it out. Example 1, make sure you label it example 1. You don't have to write the word example, but you need to have a 1 up there because I can quiz you at any time over any of these problems. And I want you to find the value of the expression. This is an expression because it does not have an equal sign. If it had an equal sign, then it would be an equation. All right, so we use, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses, we're going to do everything in here, and we follow the order of operations within the parentheses. So, I'm looking at this, I've got subtraction, I've got division. So I have to do division long before I can do subtraction. So I actually have 2 minus 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now I have 5 plus 3, and now I do this in the parentheses. So now I have a -4. Now I have addition, and remember, don't be fooled, this parenthesis is actually a multiplication. Well, which wins first, addition or multiplication? The multiplication. So I have 5 plus, and this is -12. And now all I have left is a -7. Okay? Example 2, make sure you have a 2 written up there, and then you have this problem written out. Evaluate, which actually means just do it, just do math. X minus y to the 3rd power plus 3, if x is equal to 1 and y is 4. So now I'm going to put 1 in for x, I'm going to put 4 in for y, and I'm going to cube this thing, and I'm going to add 3. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Sally. Parentheses, 1 minus 4 is -3. I'm going to put that in parentheses and take that to the 3rd power, and then plus 3. What's after parentheses? After please excuse. E is for exponent. So I'm going to do this part of the problem because I have an exponent in there. -3 to the 3rd power is actually -3 times -3 times -3. Be careful typing that into your calculator. I think this one you're going to be okay, but -3 times -3 is 9. 9 times -3 is -27. And then, of course, I have plus 3. And -27 plus 3 is -24. Okay? Example 3. What is the value of x minus y squared times x plus 5 if x equals 2 and y equals 4? So I'm going to substitute my values of x and y into the problem. X is 2, and then we have minus a y, which is 4, squared, and then once again I put an x in place of, or a 2 in place of the x, plus 5. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P is for parentheses, so I do this first. 2 minus 4 squared, I'm still going to keep the parentheses, and that's a 7. And then it's excuse, E is for exponents, so I'm going to do this piece right here. I might as well just circle that. 2 minus 16 and then I'm going to put times 7 because that parentheses means times. All right, and then I have 2 minus 16 times 7. I need to do the multiplication first. I need to figure out what this part is. So my calculator, and I'm going to have 16 times 7. 112. So I have 2 minus 112. All right, and then I can calculate that again, and I'm going to get negative 110. Oh, example 4. It has a fraction, but never fear. We can deal with it. Here we go. X is 5, so I have 8. Oops. No. 8 times, that's what that is, it's all multiplication there, times 5 times y, which is negative 2, plus z cubed, well my z is negative 1. I'm going to put that in parentheses to the third power, just to kind of say, hey, it's negative 1 that's going to the third power and not like a minus 1. I think it just clarifies a little bit. Y squared, so I have negative 2, once again, I'm going to be careful and put that in parentheses, and then plus 5. Woo! Now here's my secret on this. I always think, they never actually say this in the book, but you're going to have to think of this as a group of parentheses and this down here as a group of parentheses. Okay, so you're going to do the entire numerator, entire denominator, the entire top and the entire bottom, and then you can go ahead and do the division between the top and the bottom. All right, so think of this as one big group. Okay, are there any parentheses? Well, yeah, but I've already done all the math in there. Any exponents? Yes, right here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep writing my 8 times my 5 times negative 2 plus, what's negative 1 to the third power? That's negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. Okay, and down here in this group, I've got a parenthesis, which is negative 2 squared, and this is where you have to watch out. Type it into your calculator. I would prefer that you didn't, because this is negative 2 times negative 2, and you will get a positive 4. However, if you type this into your calculator will give you negative 4. Don't do that, do this, and that's part of the reason why I would have you type that in your calculator with parentheses. All right, and then I still have a plus 5. All right, now I look at the top again. After exponents, then it's multiplication and division. I have a multiplication, all right, and I go in order left to right. I can't pick out this one first. I'm going to go left. 8 times 5 is 40. I could probably do this all in one step, but I think I'll just keep showing you individual steps as we go. My denominator, my next step in condensing this or simplifying would be a 9. All right, up above here on the numerator, I have 40 times negative 2, which is negative 80, plus negative 1 over 9. My numerator reduces down to negative 81 over 9, and now I have an answer of negative 9. And once again, what should I do? Well, anyway, I was going to say check your answer with this, but where you just kind of went ahead and did that, that's what we're doing there. Example 5, do this one on your own. Okay, so when I see you in class again, I could say write down this one, or we could talk about this one. You're going to press pause because I'm not going to sit there and keep this video quiet for the next however many ever minutes. So press pause, do the problem, show your work, get what you think the answer is, and we'll move from there. All right, example 6, couple story problems. From the area, find the area of a trapezoid with a base length of 13 and the other base length is 25 and a height of 8 meters. And you're like, the geometry's not going away? Oh no, we're gonna keep that alive. All right, so here we go. Your bases this is your base and this is the base, they're parallel. This one has 25, this one is 13. And it says a height, that's how far it is from the top to the bottom, is a height of 8 meters. Okay, so that's your picture. And let's put those numbers into the problem. So we want to find the area. So we have 1/2 the height. Well, the height is 8. And then we have base 1. It doesn't matter which one is base 1 and base 2, but I'm going to put down 13 plus 25. All right, and then we just simplify. I do the parentheses first. So now I have 38. All right, and then I go multiplication. This is multiplication, and don't forget the parentheses is also a form of multiplication. So 1/2 times 8 is 4, and I will take 4 times 38. What is that, 476? I just double it again, 152. 152. And that's the area. And do we have labels here? 13 meters. So area, quick review, is always squared because you have 2 dimensions, length and width. Example 7, the formula for the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. And I said area of base because capital B represents the area of the base. And H is the height of the pyramid. And if you remember last year, there were some things about slant height, and then there's also height. Slant height is this height from here to here. I want to mark that in there. But the height is actually how tall your pyramid is. How tall would that garage have to be to park your pyramid in it? It would have to be from down here to up here. Okay, and they tell us that's 6 centimeters. Probably don't even need the picture, but it's always nice to have it, isn't it? So 1/3 area of the base times the height. 1/3 the area of the base. Now, our base, what shape is that? It's a square. Okay, it's a square because each side is 5. So how do I find the area of the square? 5 times 5, which is 25. The height is 6, because from here to here is 6. All right. Actually, order doesn't matter in multiplication, but we're going to take 1/3 times 25 times 6. Since we're talking about order of operations, this would be 25 over 3, top times the top, bottom times the bottom, and then take that times 6. Oh, I'm doing this pretty ugly here for you guys. The 3 goes into 6 twice, 25 times 2 is 50. Or you can use, probably many of you would just type this into your calculator and then you would get the 50. Be careful typing in 1/3 into your calculator. Because it comes out to be 0.333 repeating, and sometimes that might give you on your calculator like a 49.9, when actually it comes out evenly to be 50. So be very aware of that. And then also it's a volume, so I have to put down, whoops, let me change that. V equals 50 centimeters cubed, because we're talking about length and width and height. We have 3 dimensions in there, and that's our volume is going to be cubed. It's how much can go into that pyramid. All right, and that's the end of the lesson. Yippee-yi-ki-yay.